Citing sources and authors. As mentioned earlier, authorship attribution is important in terms of giving credit to the author of information you use in your academic work. Citing enables you to provide this credit. Shortly we'll look at what and why you need to cite and reference, but first we'll look at some terminology. When you indicate within your academic work that you've used information from a source, this is known as citing, and the indicator of the source is known as a citation. The citation is a short, concise indicator of the source, and then the full details of the source is provided in a corresponding reference at the end of your work. There are different referencing styles used in academic work, and the style you will be required to follow will be determined by the university you attend and the subject you study. As well as citing in your own academic work, you will see different citing and referencing styles in the academic sources you will read and use in your assignments. There are primarily two ways of citing that different referencing styles adopt. These are the author-date system and the numeric system. The systems specifically relate to the format of the citation. An author-date citation will use the author surname and the year of publication as the indicator of the source. Referencing styles that use the author-date system include Harvard and APA. The numeric system is presented in text with a number, often a superscript number, positioned next to the text that has been cited. Referencing styles that use a numeric system include MHRA and Oscola. Numeric systems also often use a corresponding numbered footnote, as well as a corresponding reference. All referencing styles will require you to enter a reference with the full details of the source at the end of your work. Here is an example of a book reference. This is a reference following the Harvard style. We will now look at why you need to cite in more depth. Along with allowing you to give credit to the author, it also acknowledges the research that has been undertaken on the topic. It allows you to provide evidence. Citing from well-researched sources of information provides evidence for your own statements and arguments in your work. You should present a balanced argument rather than only using evidence that supports your own viewpoint. Verification. Citing allows others to locate the material that you've used in your work, follow up on the sources, and verify the information that you have used. Research. Your citations and reference lists will also demonstrate that you have undertaken a good amount of research and that you have read around your topic. In addition to these reasons for citing, a very important reason is to avoid plagiarism. Plagiarism means passing somebody else's idea off as your own, and it can be done accidentally if you do not give credit to the author, and so you are giving the impression that what you have written or created is your own work and idea. Citing credible, quality sources in your work is good academic practice at university, and your tutors will be looking for how you have used the sources as evidence in your work. You will get lots of support at university from different staff across the institution. Support will come from the study skills team, the library, and your tutors. We will now look at what you need to cite and reference. Have a look at the different scenarios on screen here and try and consider whether you would need to cite and reference these. Press pause at this point in this video for more time to consider. We will go through these scenarios together. So when you discuss the ideas of another author in your own words, you would need to cite and reference this information. When you use the ideas of another author and put them into your own words, this is known as paraphrasing, but as the original idea and work is not your own, you would need to cite it. Information that is common knowledge. In theory, you do not need to cite information that is common knowledge, and this can be described as verifiable and indisputable pieces of information such as dates or historical facts. Bear in mind, however, that something that is common knowledge to you in relation to your knowledge of the subject area may not be common knowledge to others. So if you are in any doubt, cite the information. When you copy text from a book, this does need to be cited and referenced. When you use an author's words, word for word, this is called a direct quote, and you need to indicate in your work that it is a direct quote by putting quotation marks around the author's words and adding a citation and a reference. When you summarise the ideas from a number of sources and put it into your own words, this also needs to be cited and referenced. And in this case, you would need to indicate every source that you have summarised from. Your own ideas or viewpoint. This is something that you do not need to cite and reference. You may be required to include your own ideas in your academic writing, not only citing the work of others. For example, in the conclusion of an assignment when you're drawing all the different viewpoints from different sources together, be required to give your viewpoint then. But please be aware, as mentioned earlier, you will also be required to back up your own ideas by citing information from credible sources. Data from your own original research. You don't need to cite data from your own original research, as it is your own work. Some of your units may require you to undertake your own original research, for example, carrying out a survey or a questionnaire. When you then go on to use the data collected from those surveys or questionnaires, you don't need to cite it in your assignment. However, if you have reused a survey or questionnaire that was created by somebody else, you would then need to attribute that work to the author. An image you have found online. This is also something that you need to cite and reference. And also any diagrams, charts, data and statistics that you've used from sources. So in summary, what you need to cite and reference are the words, ideas or theories of another author, in whatever form, whether it's text-based, such as books and articles, or images and diagrams, even the words spoken in a video or broadcast you have viewed or listened to. For text-based information, this applies whether you're using the author's words word for word, i.e. a direct quote, but also when you put the information into your own words, which is called paraphrasing or summarising, as even when you put the information into your own words, you are still using the ideas of another author.